Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back with another YouTube video, and in today's video we're gonna be doing part number 30 of these DC MCU concepts, or replacing the MCU with the DCU. It's part number 30, and today we're gonna be replacing the Eternals. Now I've collectively decided to replace the Eternals with the Justice Society of America, the JSA. Now quickly, as I said in the last video, I'm going to go into inspiration behind why I chose them specifically, if there is a big reason why. Now, usually, I see a lot of things, especially with this kind of series. I've seen a lot of people replace Eternals with the New Gods because it makes perfect sense. I mean, the New Gods are essentially Eternals and everything like that. They're very similar beings and stuff, and it would be an interesting concept. Now, in my personal opinion, as much as the New Gods are interesting and everything, I just felt as if it could have been fun to essentially do something else, and I wanted to do this. I kind of want to do this concept. This is going to be something new, different to this universe I'm making essentially, and again, it's the JSA, so it's completely different. Uh, and that's what I want. I want to follow that Eternal style where it's something different. Uh, so yeah, essentially, what this is essentially I am create. If you know the DC comics, you know originally it was the first team. I think that's what you could say. Although not all these characters I'm about to talk about came the first issue or anything like that. They come later down the line. But essentially, that's what I want to do. I want to do like the oldest superhero team. Uh, and here's where the brief kind of hanger comes from. This is again, I'm moving similar to the MCU, how the MCU is moving with Phase 4 towards more of like a multiversal scale. I'm moving towards a more multiversal scale for the CU, or the Flashverse, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially a multiverse, and essentially what I have some big plans that I'm gonna use and interconnect everything. And in this case, this is meant to take place on another Earth. So yeah, essentially, this is supposed to take place on an entirely different Earth. Uh, yeah, it's supposed to take place on an entirely different Earth. With that being said, uh, yeah. So, anyways, let's just go through the characters, then I'll explain plot details and everything. So yeah, first of all, in terms of characters and stuff, it's gonna be I've got the team wise. It's gonna be Doctor Fate, Jay Garrick Flash, Stargirl, Hawkman, Alan Scott Green Lantern, as well as a brief cameo from Lobo, because I think that could be funny, and as well as Hawkgirl. So yeah, actually, a few of these characters we've already seen in the DC this universe's DCU already. We've seen some of these characters before. We've seen Hawkman, Hawkgirl before, as well as Doctor Fate, but we've never seen Alan Scott Green Lantern, Jay Garrick Flash, or Stargirl. We've never seen them, or Lobo too. But uh, to be honest with you guys, Lobo is gonna be more of a cameo character. In all honesty, like I plan to have him have some cameos and maybe some of the Green Lantern stuff. I think that would be funny. But yeah. Uh, essentially, that's what's happening with that. That's the team. In terms of the villain of this movie, I've decided to make it Vandal Savage. So, this is how it differentiates from other stereotypical team up movies. This is not going to be an origin story of sorts. It's more so gonna literally take a page out of the Eternals, where it's literally all the teammates are together essentially, and what is gonna happen is all these guys are gonna be guys and girls, sorry, essentially are going to teaming up essentially. There'll be a team at the start of the movie. We'll see them full fledged. Their team, known as the Justice Society of America, of course, and we'll see them as they essentially go through time. Because originally my plan was have these guys maybe during the 80s, the 70s. I know technically they are supposed to be around during the 40s and 50s. I just feel as if that's a little bit too far away. So I want to keep it within like 40 years, 50 years, something like that from today's time. So that's the big reason why. Um, yeah, so like essentially they started maybe the 50s, 60s maybe, and then current time right now is like about the uh 70s, maybe 70s or around the 70s, maybe late 60s. And essentially they all team up essentially because again they all come together because of a new threat that's emerging, and his name is Vandal Savage. Vandal Savage is going to be the villain. So essentially they team up again and they are preparing to essentially fight him. That's what happens. We're on revealing mysteries of what's going on with them and everything. We see everything exactly like we go into what's going on with Vandal Savage and everything. Uh, so yeah, we do see all that happening. Um, Now it is important to note that these characters are very different than what we've already seen. Like this is technically another Doctor Fate, but in terms of like who would be, I know I scrapped this idea for casting and stuff, but if I was casting somebody, the same person would have played Doctor Fate twice. Just these characters are a bit different. It's technically taking place on a different Earth. Uh, yeah, but it'll have some backstory of somewhat, but it'll be unraveling so, like same way as like Eternals. How we saw within Eternals, we saw essentially the team was literally like they were together and then they disbanded of sorts. That's exactly kind of like what's gonna go on with this. Uh, and yeah, like as well as like the family aspect of it, it's kind of deepened down. Like it's not gonna be as big. These guys are gonna just be more like a team ready to fight and stuff like that. And with some of DC's oldest characters and stuff. Originally too, I was gonna plan on using maybe perhaps like Atom Smasher, Cyclone, some of those other characters. But ultimately, I just decided really just to include these characters that I've included. And yeah, don't worry if you're wondering how this is gonna connect. Uh, is actually a big surprise. Actually, the next, or no, not the next thing. Like 2 movies away, or 2 parts of sorts. Part 32, which is gonna be No Way Home, is gonna tie in all of this stuff. Um, Again, they verse Vandal Savage. Important to note as well, they don't defeat Vandal Savage. They don't kill him or anything. They think he's dead, but they don't really know that he's essentially immortal. So it's harder to kill him, and that's gonna be like our bit of a kind of like post credit scene, or sorry, mid credit scene is the right word to say. Like he revives himself, and we see that happening. And then the post credit scene is essentially what's gonna happen is we're gonna see Jay Garrick Flash essentially uh, he will get a glimpse into the essentially the I don't know what you call it, the flashpoint I guess, or the multiverse, and he will see essentially the Earth that the main DCU stands on. The Flash, he'll see him. So that's gonna be like that, and that's gonna leave out on a cliffhanger. But anyways, that's pretty much it though. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.